I'm Dillon, I'm 21, I'm from a small place just outside Kilmarnock called Stewarton. I grew up in a neighbourhood at the top of Stewarton called the Robertland. My mum was a single parent, she couldn't really guide us, we never really listened to her. Primary school, I started smoking, started ditching school. We broke into shops, stole fireworks, just went out and got drunk, fought with people. At the age of 14, I'd already tried a mixture of drugs, including ecstasy, cannabis, speed, Valium. So me and 3 of my other friends were in a high-speed car chase from the police. We were travelling up this minor road, and we got to the end of it and we were approaching a sharp corner, and I'd been saying to my friend who was driving to slow down, but being out he's facing drugs, it never registered in his head. So we went round this corner at a high speed. We flipped the car, we rolled 6 times. Me and my 3 friends were in hospital for a total of 5 days, 4 nights. And one of the most horrible experiences was just lying in that casualty bed and my mum walking in and just seeing me in that state. Shortly after I came out of the hospital, and I was sitting thinking one time, and I just started thinking about dying. It was like a seed had been planted in my mind, so it would progress, and every day I'd think more about dying, and I started getting this fear of dying. I was staying over at my aunt's one weekend, and she told me, she's like, you need to start praying to God or read your Bible. And what was funny about it was she wasn't a Christian. So I started reading my Bible, and I was just hanging around with my friends at this underpath one day, and this man who previously used to approach us and we gave a hard time was walking along that path. So we got speaking, and I was like, how do you get to heaven? He's like, are you being serious here? And I was like, yeah. I was like, so how do you get to heaven? And he explained the process of getting to heaven, and like about Jesus and about God and having faith and stuff. He led me in this prayer, and 3 of my friends that were there that day will still agree to this day, even though they don't go to church, that as soon as we said that prayer, this blanket came over us, and it was like this perfect love. It was like a place, the place was just, there was no fear, and it was like I was just like saying, I'm never going to do this again, I'm never going to do that again. It was like a radical transformation in my life, and my paranoia went away, and I felt amazing. And I would tell my friends about like this faith I'd found in God, and they would just give me a hard time, but there was nothing at that time, because it was so real to me, that could shake my faith. The guy I was working for at the time knew a guy who ran a church in Dillon, and he invited me along, and I went along with him, and it was like church I'd never experienced before. It was like loud and lively, and it had a band, and it had nice people who'd shake your hands, and it wasn't just hymns they sung. And I met the youth pastor, well, the main youth leader there, and he had started speaking to me about YUC, which was a youth group. So I started getting more connected and becoming a leader myself, and just getting connected with church and stuff, and just growing more. But through connections in YUC, I heard that vision was important, that I should be aiming towards something, that I should be living my life with purpose, that I should be living not just for myself but for others, and to help others just as much as I've been helped. And people just like stretched their arm out and offered to give me help, and I've met some amazing people. The change in my life has been radical. I'd like to let people know who don't have a vision that there is still hope. There's goals that they should set themselves to achieve, and they don't need to do life alone, and that people are backing them, and people are living examples of that everything is possible.